to this story now. Former Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba is forming his own private prosecutions team. That's to deal with corruption. But his successor, Geoff Makhubo, has accused Mashaba of ruining the finances of the metro during his time as mayor. Mashaba is in studio to answer to some of these questions. Mr. Mashaba, very good to have you. Thank you very much for making the time. Before we start our conversation, perhaps let's listen to Geoff Makhubo and what he's accusing you of.
The whole administration was premised on the fact that it's a very clean administration, very far from that. For instance, with the outsourcing issue, let me go to that now. They were supposed to insource about 2,910 security guards. Yes, it's a true thing, it's a council resolution, we allowed that. But instead now we are sitting with 5,200 security guards. Where do they come from? They're supposed, if there's a need for security guards, they need to advertise and follow the talent acquisition process. Now they employ people under the guise of insourcing. That's not insourcing.
But what are they doing? I mean, the figure that you're giving, if you were meant to take in just about 2,100 guards and you're sitting with more than double the figure essentially, where are these 2,000 plus people stationed? What are they doing currently?
That's a key question that we have to ask. Where do they come from? Because we insource people who are in the system, on the people that were servicing the city from the security companies. Now we are very clear that these 2,000 are friends and relatives who are brought.
All 2,000 of them?
Well, I mean, where do they come from? Now we're still investigating where they come from, but we know that they were not in the system. They should have been employed properly within the process and the policy, but we know that they were brought in for political patronage.
The security guards that were insourced in Johannesburg were brought in for political patronage. Who are you pleasing, Mr. Mashaba?
I think, Goli, if Mayor Makhubo, I should obviously desist from actually insulting our intelligence. I think, I'm sure South Africans are aware the insourcing of security guards at the time when we took over and identified this blatant exploitation of our people, modern-day slavery. We had over 4,000 security guards in the system. People who were working for the security companies, these hyenas, for 10, 15 years with no appointment letters, with no pay slips, receiving the city paying 14,000 rands a month, but the poor South Africans, vulnerables, getting 3,500, not knowing when they will be paid because the hyenas will pay them as and when it was convenient for them.
All right.
So I think for Mr. Makhubo to start attacking this poor, the most vulnerable of our society. If he's got an issue with my administration, please let him not really use the pain of our people as his football game.
Mr. Mashaba, I want to get to the whole element about you forming a prosecutions body of sorts. But I want to quickly end this element around the security guards. Did you allow the EFF to co-govern with you in this city?
Well, I mean, it's on record. On the 22nd of August 2016, I was elected by a multi-party government, me representing the DA with 104 councillors, the EFF with 30 councillors, IFP with 5,
and the others saying that they were not part of the government. They were mere donors of votes in council.
Yes, what I'm saying is I was elected by a multi-party government. How did I to get the majority to be in government? EFF had to really vote with us on every report that went to Parliament, and to council. We needed.
Did you bend over backwards to please them?
Oh, I think it's another insult for anyone to say that you bend, when you have a coalition arrangement, you respect the views of other parties. Whether you bring one council vote or you bring 30 or you bring 104. My approach from day one, in fact, your own station interviewed me on the day after election, on the 22nd of August. I made a statement, you can check in your archives. I made it clear that the success of this government is going to depend on negotiations, on compromise, because they come out with your arrogance, I was going to collapse this government. And I treated the reason why the administration succeeded up to the 3 years is because I respected everyone's views, and I appreciated getting inputs from all my coalition partners, including the EFF. So I was not really prepared to really use arrogance because when you're in a coalition arrangement, it is important that you listen to.
All right. Mr. Mashaba, let's get on quickly then to why you're here. You want to form a private prosecuting body. Who are you aiming at prosecuting?
Well, clearly, South Africans are aware. We are traumatized for the last 20-odd years of high levels of blatant corruptions, starting as early as the arms deal saga. Every day we have to really watch the Zondo Commission. We see this blatant looting of state resources with such heavy enough evidence, but people are not really being prosecuted. Right now, I'm sure you're aware, Judge Zondo is asking for more money to continue with the process. But at the same time...
Mr. Mashaba, are you saying that the head of the prosecution's body in the country, Shamila Batoy, is useless?
I'm not saying she's useless, but unfortunately the NPA is not really prosecuting cases. I think I worked as a mayor of the city of Johannesburg for 3 years, over 6,000 cases, some of them very serious, some of them completed cases, very serious cases. Cases that you don't even have to really be a policeman and a woman to really be able to really prosecute. 3 years later, I've tried so many times, every attempt, including writing to Justice Portfolio in Parliament to really get their interview, writing to the ANC, asking society to say, we've got a challenge. If we are not going to prosecute these criminals who've looted our country, this country is going to collapse.
Okay.
And I've really run out of, and not me, actually South Africans. You know, through our platform of the People's Dialogue, people have really come out. They're really looking for a political party that is going to ensure that these criminals are put in prison where they belong. And we have to recover the money that's been
How
stolen.
soon can we see your private prosecutions arm?
Just really watch the space, and I can assure you, Goli, we are not going to run out of cases. There are lots of cases that we are going to pursue, and no one is going to stop us. And we're actually quite excited. Yesterday, we launched our crowdfunding platform, which by this afternoon will be fully running. South Africans are already contributing towards assisting us in this regard.
All right, Mr. Mashaba, we're out of time. Thank you very much for coming through to talk to us about this initiative, yet another initiative that he is starting.